Hi, it's Lonnie from Crafty Traveler. I'm redoing an exit and intro for this video because my last one was very fuzzy. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I really appreciate you viewing the channel. And if you subscribed, I'd even be more grateful. Just click on the subscription button and don't forget the little bell that notifies you when I put up another video. This video is about our day trip to Valley of Fire. While we stayed in Las Vegas at the Hitching Post RV Park, I'll post that video up here, we took a day trip to Valley of Fire State Park. It's about an hour northeast of Las Vegas. It's in the middle of the desert, but then you drop down into this beautiful valley with beautiful rocks and rock formations. And because it's a state park, Snickers was able to come with us on some of the little hikes. So I hope you enjoyed this video to Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada. Valley of Fire State Park is Nevada's first state park. It is located 58 miles from the Las Vegas Strip in the Mojave Desert. It abuts Lake Mead National Recreation Area at the east entrance to the park. It is 15 miles southwest of Overton, Nevada. Valley of Fire is a public recreation and nature preserve area covering nearly 46,000 acres, located 16 miles south of Overton, Nevada. The state park derives its name from red sandstone formations, the Aztec sandstone, which formed from shifting sands 150 million years ago. These features, which are the centerpiece of the park's attractions, often appear to be on fire when reflecting the sun's rays. It is Nevada's oldest state park, as commemorated with Nevada's historical marker number 150. It was designated as National Natural Landmark in 1968. Valley of Fire has a $10 day use fee, and they have two campgrounds. Camping is $20 plus $10 a night for utility hookups. $2 a night discount for Nevada residents. The annual entrance permit is $75. Group area reservations $25. Campgrounds are first come, first served, but the group areas require reservations. Our first stop is to the beehives. The beehives are sandstone formations that not only demonstrate the unique design that can be created by nature, but are also an excellent representation of geologic cross-bedding. Those are the groove lines going in different directions. The layers or beds represent different layers of silt that are deposited at different times. The beds indicate the angle of the wind or the water was moving at the time the material was deposited. Cross-bedding is very common in sand dunes, beach deposits, and river sediments. A short path winds through rocky dunes with hills of the muddy mountains visible in the distance. I love looking at all the rock formations and the different colors of the rocks, and as the sun changes and the shadows go over the rocks, they change with the sunlight. The beehives rocks look like beehives with their grooves and crevices. There's Snickers and I up on the rocks, taking a little break. And we're off to our next stop, looking at all the rock formations and colors along the way. Here we are entering the road to the campgrounds, Alt Rock and Arch Rock. Addle Rock Campground has 43 campsites. 23 are primitive and 20 offer water and power hookups. This campground offers showers and modern restrooms. As we are leaving the campground area, we will turn left, and that will take us to the Addle Rock view site. But before we go there, we're going to see the arch. Arch Rock. There are a lot of more impressive arches out there, like in Arches National Park, but this small, delicate arch in red sandstone is still cool to see. Over many millennia of wind and rain erosion, the natural arch formed. While the arch will eventually become too heavy for its support and collapse, we can still view it from a distance. No climbing or walking on the arch is allowed at this time. Addle Rock. While prehistoric people like the Anasazi most likely didn't live in this dry valley, they visited to hunt bighorn sheep, gather food, and perform religious ceremonies. They left their literal mark with the rock carvings or petroglyphs, which can be found all throughout the park. Some of the best preserved ones are on Addle Rock, where you can climb a tall metal staircase to view these ancient writings. There's also bathrooms and picnic area at this stop. The oldest petroglyphs in the Addle Rock area appear to date from about 2000 BC. Around 2000 BC, there was a transition from hunter-gatherer to cultivation with Anasazi cultures. There was another transition to the southern plateau cultures. In the Valley of Fire petroglyphs meaning is very sketchy, but lead us to look for petroglyphs demonstrating hunting, gathering, cultivation. In addition, there are petroglyphs for shamanic and spiritual significance. According to the thesis, the petroglyphs, the highest levels are associated primarily with shamanic activities. Those in the middle elevated levels are associated primarily with hunting activities and rituals, and those in the lowest elevation levels are associated primarily with everyday or domestic activities. There's Ernie and Snickers waiting for me, taking a break. And yes, I did climb that staircase. Petrified logs are located in Valley of Fire. The logs and stumps washed into Valley of Fire about 225 million years ago and are visible in two locations. The logs are several colorful tree trunks lying close to the road, safely fenced off for all to enjoy. It was a short hike, and Snickers got to go on the hike with us to see the petrified logs. Now we're going to take a turn and go to the Visitors Center. It's nicely laid out and has a good exhibits of all the things that can be seen in the Valley of Fire. Valley of Fire Visitor Center has information, books, souvenirs, and exhibits on Valley of Fire and the surrounding area. The exhibits include the geology, ecology, prehistory, and the history of Valley of Fire. Valley of Fire Visitor Center hours are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. daily. Valley of Fire consists of bright red Aztec sandstone outcrops nestled in gray and tan limestone mountains. The sandstone is from the Jurassic period and is a remnant of the sand left behind by the wind after inland seas subsided and the land rose. Early man moved into southern Nevada as far as back as 11,000 years ago. Seven Sisters at Valley of Fire State Park is a group of 7 tall, red, eroded boulders surrounded by the sandy desert. Once part of the nearby red formations, these rock towers are all that remain after the relentless forces or erosion stripped away the surrounding sandstone deposit. Numerous blowholes forecast the eventual destruction of the towers that will take place many hundreds of years in the future. There are 3 cabins that were built by the Civilian Conservation Corps, the CCC, soon after the Valley of Fire became a state park in 1935. They are constructed of native sandstone and were used for many years to shelter campers and travelers to the park. The cabins are now being preserved as a reminder of the work accomplished by the CCC throughout the Nevada and under the able direction of Colonel Thomas W. Miller, Nevada's first State Park Commission chairman. Approximately 9,000 persons visited the newly established Valley of Fire State Park in 1936. Today, several 100,000 visitors enjoy the park each year. The views from the cabin. Now we're headed to Valley of Fire's one most popular rock formation, Elephant Rock. The rock is a fine example of an arch in the shape of an elephant. The rock is right next to the road, but as parking is limited on the Valley of Fire Road, it is best to park in the nearby parking lot and take the trail to reach the rock. There's the trail to Elephant Rock. Looks like I gotta be a little careful here. That's where it's headed. See where those people are? I gotta get up there. Elephant Rock. Here's the trail. It goes back down to the parking lot. Doesn't look as steep or rocky. And there's the last little bit back to the parking lot. And as the day has ended, we are leaving Valley of Fire, Nevada's first and oldest state park. If you're ever in the area, it is worth the visit. So I hope you liked the video. Weren't the rock formations and the scenery just gorgeous? I love all the colors and the textures on those rocks. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, comment, share, and of course subscribe. Thank you for watching, and stay crafty when in Valley of Fire.